Welcome back to Level Up in Life and Business, Brand Moment Edition. Today we are going to be talking about building a community. Now this is one of the modules that I do talk about in the Brand New You course. You guys, again, if you have not enrolled in this course, I'm telling you, it is one of the best investments you will make for your brand. Okay, learn the fundamentals of your brand, and with that comes building a community. This is one of the last modules. I actually just recorded this one, so that's why it's really fresh on my brain. I will give you a little snip of why it's important to build a community. This goes back to the whole pitching yourself to brand concepts, and when you have a community that supports you, that you advise, that you have built, it really makes it easier for you to transition organically over to having those partnerships that you desperately want so much. I mean, the brand is essentially buying into your community. They want your community to buy the product, so you have to have a community that is instilled in trust, which means when you sell a product, obviously, I would hope it's a product that you have vetted and something that is in alignment with your audience and your community and your own personal interests, because that will then translate over to your community. Your community, let me think about that. See, I have a really unique relationship with my community. I feel like I'm very straightforward. I feel like my community trusts me and what I say, and I also feel like there is a certain level of they just know that what I'm saying or what I'm promoting, I'm actually really using it, right? They really trust me. And I feel like that is the most important key, and that comes with consistency. When you are consistent, your messaging, consistent in your stance, consistent in what you are, constantly putting out there on your social channels, in your email letters, whatever that is, your community tends to trust you, and you build a community that gravitates towards those efforts. So I don't think I would get a community that is looking for makeup help, because I'm not putting that type of expertise out there, right? But if someone is looking to start a business, if someone is looking to start a brand, if someone is looking for a way to scale or things like that, they would most likely gravitate more towards my content, which means that when I embark on partnerships, it needs to advance my community. Or I'm hoping that when you are advancing in partnerships, you are looking to create value for your community. That can be for a photographer, that could be for a real estate agent, for anyone that is in the field of talking to people and building trust. You really need to create value for them. And that is how your community grows. So when you consistently create value, and someone can take away from any post that you made, they can take away from an email blast or a newsletter or a podcast that you did, that's the key to growing your community. Now, I also encourage a lot of my clients, especially those that have retail businesses or a product they're selling, to create community events, right? So for me, one of my first community events is going to be this workshop. I want to gather women, and I want them to be able to marry with each other, right? I want them to be able to learn and grow from each other, and also be there for the greater good of enhancing their business or brand, right? So we all have something in common because we're all going to be in the same room. So it is now time for me to go reach out to partners. Who do I want to go reach out to help me create value to these clients, right? I may go out to, I don't even know, I haven't even thought about it yet, but I'm just saying, when you're building your community, everything kind of revolves around them, right? Because they are the centerverse of why you're doing what you're doing. Hopefully, if you're doing something that requires you to be on social media, you're not just doing it for $1. Hopefully you're doing it because it creates value for you. You want always to be putting your best efforts out into the universe to attract that back, but you also want to be doing God's work, right? You also want to be doing what your calling is. So hopefully, because our customers in our community are not stupid, guys, they see straight through if we're gimmicky, if we're selling something that's off brand. So just really value your community, communicate with your community, advise your community, engage with your community. These are all things that will really help you be a more viable asset when you do want to branch off and pitch yourself or create a new product. You're always going to have the support of your community.